Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining our 12th webinar. My name is Fernando Leon, and I am your host. I am joined by my co-host, Gregory Moravietz, and we have a show today where we're going to compare building an internal SOC or outsourcing because, well, the SOC model is becoming popular more and more each day. And we're going to do those cost comparisons because it's a glaring comparison. Well, it's just a vast difference in not only cost savings, but expertise. But let me just give you guys a quick overview on what we're trying to achieve over here at Single Point of Contact is to educate the IT service firm industry on how to sell value, scale their business, and increase their monthly recurring revenue. And the key to IT firms succeeding are selling value, not tech services. Too many of you guys are stuck selling tech support, but you guys need to understand that you are selling value. That will help you stand out. 99% of IT firms fail to implement a marketing strategy, and the IT firm that wins the marketing game will own the market in your area. So look into marketing, and we'll be talking about it on the Single Point of Contact, a lot of our webinars. So, but we're here to solve the scaling challenge, and we're here to solve a lot of your problems that you may have with remote offices and you can't provide on-site support. So lots that we provide out here at Single Point of Contact, and our white label platform has been a popular choice for a lot of IT firms that are looking for a 24/7 help desk or a 24/7 SOC, or the popular choice right now, which are many firms are stuck on, with break fix. Why are you still doing break fix? There's no value in break fix. You got to look into the proactive managed IT service model. We can help there. So on to the show. And the first slide is, I'm just going to throw it out there. And Greg, you can correct me. This is just data that I'm pulling from external sources because I'm just doing research and just reading on what our competitors are writing. They're the ones writing this. So, and there's other independent sources that are not in the IT industry who are confirming a lot of this information because, as you can tell, you know this. You know this for a fact because you manage the team. Having a 24/7 team that is quality is going to cost you an arm and a leg if you keep it in house. I mean, if you determine that, okay, you're going to get a mid to senior level guy being part of the SOC team, you're going to need at least what, 8 people? Would you say, Greg?
You need to have 2 people on every shift. I just called Lenovo tech support the other night, and they didn't have any managers on after hours. They only had managers during on hours. So I guess you could get away with not having a manager on after hours or grave or swing. So you could just have them on during business hours. So if you just had a knock manager or a SOC manager on during business hours, you cut down on your expenses there a little bit. But yeah, you need to maybe two people, 5 days a week, 3 shifts. So that's 6 people. And then you need 2 weekend people or 3. So you need maybe 9 people total and a manager. So 10 people total.
Got it. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's
That's a minimum. That's a start. That's like,
yeah.
if someone
Yeah.
gets sick, you have to have that other person.
Yep.
You
Yep.
can't just leave your desk empty.
Yep.
Or you have to, if you have one person during any of those shifts, a manager needs to jump in and cover the desk while that one person is out. So say you only have one grave or one swing and that person is out for vacation or sick, the manager has to step in and do it. So that day manager is going to have to not be there during the day, at least that time.
Yep. Yep. I mean, you're looking at costs here for a 2,000 person office, supporting a 2,000 person office.
Okay.
right? You're looking at what it would take if you built it in-house. So what is that total cost per year? 2.2 million a year. Because not only do you have to hire the full-time team, you got to train them. And I'm surprised there's no management fees there, right? Because you do need a manager to manage these guys, keep them on track. And then you got to buy the technology. The technology, I mean, if you built it in-house and you decide to, you got to buy the licenses. There's just no way around it. You can't build this inside. You don't want to build anything internally. You don't want to create your own SIM and your own EDR. You're going to have to buy the technology. So that's a lot of overhead. I mean, look at that. That's a lot of overhead. But when you compare it to outsourcing it to a white label partner like Single Point of Contact, which we provide a white label security operations center, you're not going to spend that much to support a 2,000 person office. I mean, that's what it would cost right there for that. And I'm going to add an asterisk mark there because just to be safe, I'm going to add a disclaimer based on those are endpoints, 2,000 endpoints. So and that's just pure SIM. And I'm going to go over the platform in a little bit, but that's what the cost would be if we were in charge of that. Just so everybody has a general idea, because there's a lot of MSPs out there that have thousands of endpoints and they're spending big bucks to support it. They're paying their people. I mean, a good technician is going to cost you 100K a year. That's almost half of what you're spending on an outsourcing to the SOC, right? So
Well,
you're getting
you just did a price check on a Cisco guy. It was 870 or $80 an hour. That's 140, $150,000 a year.
no,
So
it's
that was
almost
just for
yeah,
that was
it's
just for a Cisco dude.
yeah, it was 170K a year. Yeah,
Yeah.
we've been interviewing some ASA Cisco ASA guys. So yeah, it's expensive. So I get firsthand. I'm at the front lines when we're looking for some of these people. So yeah, it's not cheap. It's not
No.
cheap. Now, what are the benefits of uh, partnering with a white label SOC partner? Is obviously you get reduced personal costs. You don't have to hire any more people. You don't have to manage them. You don't have to pay for their vacation, their benefits. I mean, the costs are just phenomenal. You cannot ignore how much you would save if you decided to outsource that portion. It gives you a competitive edge. And how does it do that? Well, the money you save can be help subsidize a marketing campaign, right? It can also help you with landing more opportunities because you're not as expensive as your competition. So you'll get a competitive edge there. But one of the things that a lot of MSPs aren't doing is they're not offering SOC services because they don't know about single point of contact. So if you're the only MSP that's providing a complete package to your prospect, you're going to stand out. You're going to get a competitive edge over your competition because they didn't think about offering the prospect a SOC service. I mean, that should be asked during a conversation, like asking the client, look, hey, I know we're only talking about help desk services. I know that's what you're looking to outsource, but would you be interested in also having a SOC in place, right? You can at least give them an option, because some clients might not even know there's a SOC available, right? They're so busy running their own business, they don't seem to understand that there's technology out there to keep them secure and compliant. So get that competitive edge. Now, you're going to have access to resources around the clock that are going to be part of your team, but you're going to want to get to know everybody because they're going to become like your family. They're the ones that are at the front lines that are providing that security for your organization. They're the ones looking at alerts. They're the ones that will be collaborating with you. So feel free or feel at ease that you're going to have a named team for your account. Now, technology expertise is abundant at single point of contact. So, and what does that mean? Well, you might have a Cisco project like one of our clients has, and they need somebody part-time or somebody full-time for 3 to 4 months in another part of the world, in another part of the state, in another part of the United States. So you get expertise as needed, meaning that gives you another competitive edge, right? Because your client or your prospect, when you position your organization, you need to always have that flexibility on display. You also want to put on display that, look, we have much more on our bench than what we're discussing today. So if you open up an office in another part of the world or the United States, we're going to have the experts available to you. So you don't have to go through the whole interview process of finding somebody. We're your trusted advisors. Will be able to fill that position or complete the project for you. So the ROI on outsourcing is immediate. I mean, there's no upfront fees for having a SOC in place or a white label SOC because it's already built. It's not like you have to invest in the team. You just call Fernando Leon up and say, hey, I need a quote. And that's what you pay every 30 days for having access to the platform. And speaking of the platform, what is included in the platform besides a white label support, a SOC support package, right? Because I went very generic here because you have a white label SOC, you have a white label help desk, and you have a white label managed IT service partner. So don't feel like you're limited. We're not. So the platform is we have a very robust tech stack. So what do we have on there? We have log collection. Log collection is going to provide a lot of data that goes into the SIM, right? The SIM is the dashboard collecting and interpreting and providing the team, the SOC team, with information that what is a legitimate threat. Now, here you have patch management, right? So you want to report on what has been successful, what was installed, what wasn't installed. So we take care of all of that. Everything's automated, but we get alerts when something is not patched. You don't have to worry about things like that. We take care of it. Dark web services. So if somebody's email and passwords are compromised or they're for sale on the dark web, we inform you. We inform your clients. We keep everybody in the loop so there's no potential breaches. So lots to offer. Phishing services. So we all know that the weakest link in a company is the end user. You can have all the sexy software in place, all the sexy hardware in place, firewalls, and if you have a end user who's not educated, who is not up to date with phishing attacks, you're going to have problems. Those are the ones that are the firms that don't keep their employees up to date with training, and you need to have a phishing service in place. You got to keep your people trained. MFA, right? Everybody needs multi-factor authentication is becoming more and more popular. It's a necessity. So that comes with the SOC. We allow you to build a customized package, and there's plenty of tools for you to choose from. But MFA is becoming a very popular choice for many organizations because it's a definite requirement. Endpoint detection and response. And as we also have XDR, right, along with EDR. You could choose one of the two, but EDR is a very popular solution that is also scanning and reporting on potential threats and ransomware. It will isolate a machine, it'll quarantine it so it doesn't spread, but you need EDR as part of your tech stack. Vulnerability scanning will do this is 24/7. So if there's a potential vulnerability in your network, like a patch was missed or an open port on your firewall, it's going to be reported to the SIM. The SIM then interprets that data for the team. The team gets in touch with you, or we resolve the problem. It depends on the workflow. And there you have the SIM, the Security Information and Event Management Dashboard. This is what you get to see. You get to review logs and all the information for each client. It's multi-tenant, so you're not having to log in and log out of multiple dashboards to view client information. So that's part of the platform, and reporting. Right. So if you have a client that needs to be HIPAA compliant or NIST compliant or CMMC or PCI or GDPR, we provide a compliance reporting tool. So that's just a necessity. You don't, I would not even consider having being an option unless you're not a regulated industry. But if you're a regulated industry, you need compliance reporting. And last but not least, the 24/7 SOC team. They're going to be looking at 3 to 4 monitors around the clock and reporting on potential threats because it's happening around the clock. And our job is to keep your client's network secure and safe. Well, that's it for our webinar today. Thank you for joining us. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at fleone@singlepointoc.com. Gregory is our VP of Operations, and he is happy to answer any questions, technical questions. And but feel free to give us a call or email us. All right, guys. Thanks again for joining us. Have a wonderful night.